Hello, 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 everyone. Hope you guys are doing good. Happy Sunday. You know what time it is. It is Sunday evening. I hope everyone is well rested and in a space of peace. I know I am. I know that I am. Feeling a lot of gratitude in this moment. Deep, deep gratitude in this moment. Um, there's nothing better than a house that's like freshly mopped and cleared with your spiritual products and like smudged, and I love it. I took care of my home this Sunday morning. I meal prepped, which I'm not the most consistent with, so when I do get to do it, it feels good. And I slept decadently. I took the most amazing healing nap this afternoon after I did everything to get myself set for the week. Um, Even got a little time in to watch one of my creepy programs. Finally watching that Menendez brother thing on YouTube. I just went straight into my little update. I didn't even say hi or introduce myself or anything. Hold on, let me pause our music. Okay. Um, Hello, everyone. I am Mambo. I am Coven Mother of Vision Adantor. I am founder and facilitator of the Charm School Mentorship Program. I'm your weekly reader, and I'm a dope bitch straight up out of Oakland. I am so happy to be here tonight in the spirit of gratitude. Looking forward to seeing what messages Spirit has in store for all of us as we start this new week. Come on in the room as you get settled in. Don't forget to say hi. Don't forget to hit the scale emojis just to let me know that you're here with me. Hey, Aja. Hey, Kodan. Hey, La Balin. Hey, Nicole. Hey, JL. Good to see everyone. Good to see everyone. All right. So we will go ahead and jump straight into it. You all who are here, who've introduced yourselves so far, are regulars. So you know the drill, but I'm just going to repeat it for those who may be new, if any new people join us tonight. This is the weekly energy reading. Hey, Tiffany. Good to see you. We still need to talk, Tiffany, so I'm going to reach out to you over text. If I don't get to do it tonight, then I'm going to try to do it tomorrow because we need to talk soon. Um, Weekly energy reading, free reading that I give every week to give people an understanding of the energies ahead of them for the week ahead. Um, if you want a question, because I know some people may be here because they saw me post in a particular group and they know that I'm taking questions from the audience, I'm definitely going to do that. I always do that after I get through all the spreads with the general information, okay? My only request is that you be patient. You let me get through the general reading first, and then I will answer as many questions as my energy will allow me to. I do have my Cash App as well as my PayPal scrolling below. Love offerings are deeply appreciated, but they are not a requirement for a weekly energy question. The only time I require love offerings is if I'm doing specialty spreads, say during an astral hour or a happy hour. But questions are free tonight. Love offerings are appreciated because energy exchange matters. Okay? But now that I've said all that, let me just go ahead and jump. Oh, hold on. JL said something. Definitely feeling the spirit of gratitude. I screen record when I ask you a question. And yesterday, I watched back all of my. Oh, I love that. I love that. I love that you do that. That's so smart. Thank you. Thank you. And here's the thing, any wisdom that I share with you guys, I'm a vessel and it's coming from spirit. So if you get a reading with me, whether it's a private reading, whether it's a reading here and it's confirmation and it's wisdom that presents itself later down the road, always thank your spirits. This is not about me. I'm just a vessel and I'm honored to be used as a vessel. And I'm grateful every time my spirits allow me to be a vessel for people, but make sure you thank the spirits, okay? Let's go ahead and jump straight into the reading for the week. We're going to start with the general, and then we'll go into the other specialty, not specialty, but the specific topics of love, health, wealth, after we are done with the general, okay? Also, share this reading with people that you know who may be interested, who may benefit from it. The more the merrier, okay? I am trying to grow the channel, and so the more eyes we have on the weekly readings, the more that helps, not only with the algorithm, but with inspiring people to just go ahead and subscribe and become a part of our little YouTube family here, okay? Ancestors, angels, and masters, spirits who walk with me, my elevated ancestors. What wisdom do we as a collective need about the week ahead of us? Give us insight into the nature of any challenges, lessons, blessings, experiences we will have that will cross our path over the coming 7 days. Who do we need to be and what do we need to see about ourselves, our habits, and our environment between October 12th and 19th that will allow us to gain mastery over our situation, that will allow us to move in power and confidence as opposed to fear and insecurity. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. All right. Hi, Flame from the Ashes. Good to see you here. Love that. We did have a card that fell out in the shuffle. I think I'm going to get to it last. Hey, Bertal, good to see you. Some of us are dealing with some confusion. And I'll say this, it's good confusion. And what I mean by that is some of the blessings that we've been calling in are coming to us. Now, it's good confusion because it's better to have a lot of options than no options. But some of us are dealing with choice paralysis. And a lot of it has to do with spiritual regimen, let's be real. Some of you guys are not tending to your home the way you need to. Or if you are tending to your home, you're tending to it from a place of crisis, right? A negative spiritual energy is showing up and you're dealing with attacking that. Or there's some sort of deficit that you're trying to address through spiritual regimen. But if you can alter your energy and shift it from one of panic to one of bringing yourself to center, getting in alignment, stabilization, that will help you tremendously. Those of you / us, and I'm saying us because this is a collective reading, who have been dealing with financial insecurity, it's deeply important that you trust that is working itself out and you will be stabilized very, very shortly. And the reason why Spirit wants you to understand that is because if that is part of what is playing into the emotional instability and confusion that's making it hard for you to be rooted in your regimen, to take good care of yourself, you got to work on not letting that be a driving force. You got to work on not letting that be a fear, being something that's going to cloud your judgment. Because if you can't think and experience yourself like a person that already has the blessings, it's only going to set you up for emotional difficulty once the blessings are at your feet or in your hands, right? So really working to see your reality for what it is, as opposed to filtering it through either the fear or the escapism that allows you to cope with fear, is something that's really coming up very, very strongly this week. First card, 7 of Cups, right? There are some of us that are looking at our options from a place of past deficit. There are some of us that are looking at our options from a place of emotional scarcity or emotional fear. And whenever the sevens come up, they're a time to pause and to be still, right? The sevens tell us that too much action or too swift of action can bring us more problems, right? Yes, you have a lot of options ahead of you, but that doesn't mean that you need to make decisions quickly. In fact, if you make a decision too quickly, you can attach yourself to something negative. You can attach yourself to something that doesn't serve you, that will only bring you pain in the immediate future in the next 30 to 90 days. So take the time to slow down and ask yourself, like, why do I feel fear? Or why do I feel discomfort? What's going on, right? Because there's something that needs to be addressed. Now, Four of Wands, stabilization, security, protection over the home. But it's also a card of homecoming and blessings, right? I mentioned earlier that some of us are doing work in our home or over our home from a place of deficit. If you can bring a little bit more energy of celebration into the way you honor your home, a little bit more energy around gratitude, that will in and of itself will tremendously shift a lot of what you are feeling. Some of us are doing way better than we understand we are. And the way that we shift out of that is through expressing gratitude for our home. I don't think we understand how many people either don't have their own home or are living in environments that they don't like, that they don't appreciate. Spirit loves an energy of gratitude. And not only will it bring a different energy into your home, but it'll give you an understanding of how stable and protected you actually are. It'll take you out of this spiritual and emotional confusion and bring you into a stabilizing energy where you understand, oh, I'm actually doing better than what I understand. I'm actually more stable, more grounded. I've come further than I understand, right? Four of Wands is an energy that asks us to celebrate the milestones we've hit, because it's hard for us to move forward if we don't fully understand how far we've come, right? And so this is about the protection and the strength that comes from spiritual alignment, spiritual and emotional alignment. Not only will this support you in being able to see your own personal strengths, but it'll also help you have more compassion for other people around you. The only reason why you're snapping at folks is because you don't understand how blessed you are. The only reason why you are easily agitated with the people around you is because you are moving from emotional deficits of your past, not understanding that in this moment right now you're good, right? And that's the thing that makes the King of Cups so strong. They are the compassionate leader because they've come so far. They've had so many experiences in the world, and that those experiences turn them into a compassionate leader, a stable, grounded person in terms of the type of empire or kingdom or environment that they create, right? Emotional control will bring you very far this week. I just taught a class Friday, the free charm school class for the month of October, about navigating the spirit of provocation. Some of you guys, this confusion may be coming from a spirit of provocation, right? There may be people around you who benefit from you being unstable and unclear about who you are, right? But if you can really acknowledge how far you've come and move from a place of deep emotional regulation, you will make better decisions this week. Everything that you've worked on in terms of planting seeds is coming to you already. This is not going to be a week of financial deficit. Even if you feel like in this moment you don't see the money in your account, move like it's already there, right? Nine of Pentacles, you have everything you need. I'm thinking of the chant that India, I read, I have everything I need. If you are feeling at a space of deficit, look that chant up of her and repeat it back to yourself. Incorporate it into your spiritual regimen this week. A lot of y'all are doing better than you feel like you are. And the Nine of Pentacles is about embodying an energy of abundance, embodying an energy where you have everything you need and you understand how blessed you are. And those blessings turning into not only more material blessings, but further stability in your future, right? A lot is coming up about taking inventory of your environment. So the Nine of Pentacles is here to say you have everything. You're good. Express the gratitude for it. Let that gratitude set you up not only for more for yourself, but more for your immediate family, more for your legacy and your lineage, King of Pentacles, right? Everything you've asked for is already coming to you. And what do I always remind you guys about the King of Pentacles? The King of Pentacles had to go through some shit to become this wealthy person, this wealthy leader, this wealthy protector, right? This business person who has capacity for early retirement, who has capacity for abundance. There is hard work put into it, but also negative experiences. I think some of you guys are so busy wallowing in and sticking in the confusion that your negative experiences of the past may have put you through, that it's hard for you to understand that those were meant to teach you something so that you can get to this space of King of Pentacles energy. Think of a Steve Jobs, right? Think of an Issa Rae, right? Think of these people who have built a lot of wealth in their lifetime and have these good reputations and a lot of money, as well as access to be able to help other people. Because that's another thing about the King of Pentacles, right? It's not just that they themselves are wealthy. They're a card of job creators, right? So I think sometimes it's really easy to stay in this energy because, and I don't use this word lightly, this language lightly, it's self-indulgent. If you hang on to your confusion and you let it cause deficit for you, it's really easy to always be in a space where you're having to focus on what you need to do to get back to yourself or protect or stabilize yourself. King of Pentacles energy comes with a lot of responsibility because it's like, okay, now you are here, your needs are met, you have overflow and abundance. What are you doing to translate that into something where you can now start bringing other people into your abundance and creating opportunities for them, right? You got to walk in that energy. You got to really trust that and you got to believe it. So this is a week where we have to be very careful about the ways in which we let our emotions fool us, right? Page of Cups, are we learning to have mastery over our emotions so that we can lean further into our spiritual connections? Or are we misusing our spiritual walk for spiritual escapism because we don't want to deal with responsibility, right? We don't want to deal with the reality. So it's easier for us to lean into the escapist aspects, right? Pages, students, learning lessons. How are you engaging with your spiritual relationships, with your spirit team in a way that's responsible? Are you using them to garner more emotional and spiritual maturity? Or are you exercising spiritual immaturity by being self-indulgent, genuflecting, and, staying in a cycle where you hyperfixate on the past instead of preparing yourself for the responsibilities of the future, right? That's why I love that the card that fell out while I shuffled was the Hierophant. The Hierophant is a card of spiritual responsibility. When you have gained knowledge and when you've gone through certain experiences, you then have a responsibility to alchemize that wisdom into lessons, into rites of passage that you can then teach to other people, right? And so what are you doing with your responsibility? Are you being a tyrant and, weaponizing it against other people and being selfish and arrogant about your power? Or are you being a proper Hierophant, which is somebody who can take your spiritual teachings and pour them into other people? What's going on with your regimen? Are you walking it like you talk it? Right? Because that's the thing. Hierophant in reverse is somebody who has a bunch of spiritual knowledge, but they misuse it. That's what I mean when I say they're a tyrant, right? They only care about using it to gain money from other people. They only care about it to wield their power over other people's heads and make them feel bad because they don't know what they know. But Hierophant in its alignment, in its upright, right, and in its aligned energy, is somebody who walks it like they talk it. I can't tell you how many spiritual teachers and healers there are out there who, somebody said that I was being an adult earlier. No, I'm being a priestess, right? There are things I have to do over the weekend to get myself ready so that I have the energy and the capacity to deal with other people. There are protections that I have an obligation to put over my home so that I'm not distracted by bullshit. And I can't tell you how many healers and teachers there are out there that don't do the basics. They don't do the foundation. And then they want to bark at the people that they teach or they lead because they're not, well, they're following your lead, right? The Hierophant is coming up to ask us, are we walking it like we're talking it spiritually? Because that's the only reason why some of us are in this space of confusion, right? You can't be somebody who's aligned and all you want to do is talk about baneful magic and the left hand and the left hand and the left hand. That's some insecure shit. You have no attachment to your right. You can't be all love and light, love and light, love and light, and then a fight shows up at your door or at the door of the people that you lead and you don't know how to handle it. What are you doing to maintain balance? Because here's the thing, and I love the fact that we had two very powerful pentacle cards. People can win the lottery. There are people that win millions of dollars in the lottery and they end up broke 2 years later. Why? Because they didn't do anything to change their habits. They did nothing to have good, proper regimen in their life. They're still moving from the deficit and the spirit of a poor person. Hierophant is going to put you in alignment and hold you responsible for the wisdom that you have, right? And this whole reading is about that. If you feel in this energy where you're confused and you don't know how to move, look at your habits and look at where you are emotionally to see whether or not you've updated your software, right? You can't be surprised that you don't, or you're losing things you prayed for when you haven't updated your emotional and spiritual software, okay? That is the general reading. I feel like we should start with health and wellness. How do you guys feel about that? Should we do health and wellness next, or should we do love and romance? Let me know. I feel like health and wellness. Hey, Renee. Good to see you. Health and wellness feels right. So I'm going to go into that next, okay? Sisters, angels, sisters, masters, spirits, walk with me. Elevated ancestors. What wisdom do we as a collective need about our health and wellness as we go into the week of October 12th through the 19th? Who do we need to be and what do we need to see about ourselves, our habits, and our environment that will allow us to have balance of our holistic health? Give us wisdom and insight. What are the habits we need to release, maintain, or increase so that we can have good health over mind, body, and soul? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. All right. I am smelling pine, and pine is a really great protection herb. It's also it's going to start to become extremely plentiful in our grocery stores, in our nurseries, in our apothecaries and botanicas in the coming weeks, because we're right now we're in the thick of fall, but it's preparation for winter. I did not use pine. Did I use pine? No, I did not use pine this week in any of my products. So someone who's watching this, as you do your floor washes, as you create your medicines, you may just need to get a pine wreath or a pine smudge stick, maybe cedar. No, it's pine. And keep that in your home. But pine is coming up right now as something that someone needs. So make note of that. We'll clarify over one of these cards just to make sure I'm understanding this correctly. Clarify the Seven of Cups. What do we need to know about the Seven of Cups? What is the Seven of Cups trying to tell us about health and wellness, whether spiritual, mental, or physical? Stop fucking. I just said it in the last reading. Stop worrying about money. I don't know who this is that's doing this, but stop worrying about money. It's coming. And what's happening with the hyperfixation and the hyper worry about money is that it's keeping some of you guys from being involved in life. It's like there are basic things that you won't allow yourself to do or won't allow yourself to have because you're so worried about the money that's coming in the future. And you can't be that way, right? Not only does it steal your joy, which is a mental health issue as well as a spiritual health issue. But if there are things that you need in this moment and you're denying yourself the opportunity to buy them because you're so concerned about whether or not you're going to get the money back and whether or not you're going to need the money later, and it's just not a healthy way to move. It's not a good way to move, right? Justice card, you get back what you put into a situation. I'm feeling a lot of worry come through from you guys' energy right now, which is why I'm relighting Apollo. But justice, you get back what you put into a situation. There's a balance that needs to be put into your life. And this is coming up because some of you guys, if you've been feeling immensely tired, if you've been feeling like it doesn't matter how much you sleep, you can't regain your energy, it's because you're worrying too much. And there is not enough balance in your life. And what you need in order to get to a space of balance is you need more joy. You need more celebration. You need to take your asses outside. You need to go out with people. You need to let yourself go and have a coffee dates or get drinks with someone. You're not celebrating enough. All work and no play makes Jane a dull girl. It also makes her a sick ass bitch. So of course you're going to have migraines. Of course you're going to have a spirit of exhaustion. Of course you're going to have stomach issues because you have no joy in your life. You just sit around and worry, waiting for the other shoe to drop, even though in this moment things are going fine. We have that Seven of Cups coming up again. Seven of Cups, worrying about things and letting it stall you, letting it make it hard for you to make basic decisions. Choose very specific things and move forward. Pull clarifiers over it. A lot of y'all are worried about money that's already on its way. Ace of Pentacles, offerings from the universe. The money is coming. You are going to get it. People are going to put the pentacles in your hand. And it's taking you out of your spirit of adventure. You're not moving through the world. You're not learning anything new. You're not letting yourself have any new experiences because you're so worried about falling. You're so worried about tripping over something. You're so worried about the worst that could happen. Stop worrying about the worst that can happen and think about what's the best thing. My friend Vicky, that was the most awesome thing she said to me. What's the best thing that can happen to you today? Y'all are so worried about the worst. And of course that makes you sick. Hyper worrying about what's the worst thing that can happen is going to make you sick, whether it's a literal physical illness or whether it's just a spiritual sickness. So just be very, very careful. This is what strength is. It's trusting. I always say that strength is its vulnerability and its authenticity. It's not the absence of fear. It's being, yeah, you may have some fear. You may have a little nervousness, but doing the things you need to do anyway. And what a lot of you guys need to do is go outside, have some fucking fun. Stop worrying about the future all the goddamn time. You can't control it. Trust the prayers you put in place. Trust the protections you put in place. Trust that your ancestors are working on your behalf. But that distrust and that lack of vulnerability, it's not serving you. And it's actually showing up as weakness. So this is about learning to tap into your strength. Believe that things are supposed to work out for you, right? And look your fears in the face. That's how you conquer them. Look your fears in the face. Love him. He's coming back up again. Y'all work too hard to not have the things that you need. And even if you are hitting a bump right now, that bump is wisdom that's going to get you closer to your King of Pentacles energy. King of Pentacles is not without bumps in the road. But guess what? They turn those bumps and those deficits into wisdom, into knowledge. I can't tell you, so many of my classes that I teach come from bad experiences that I've had, right? Painful things that I've had to learn. So I turn my tests into testimony. And then that brings me abundance in my future and stability in my future. And it cements my legacy, right? And it may not be the same way that it happens with me, but some of you guys have to learn not to take your delays as no's. A delay is not a denial, right? Queen of Swords is coming up because if you can, again, turning your test into testimony, she is the embodiment of that. Queen of Swords goes through some stuff. She's had some heartbreaks. But the difference between being in her debilitation, where you're an embittered woman who's just hyper judgmental and says nasty things all the time, the difference between that and being a Queen of Swords, wise counsel, a brilliant woman, somebody who has wise words to impart over other people, which is why she is the author and the writer, right? The difference between the two is, are you turning your wisdom or your deficits, your negative experiences into wisdom that you can not only use to better protect yourself, but that you can pour into other people? Or are you just sitting around stewing over stuff? There are too many of y'all, and this, I'm glad that this message is coming up in the health and wellness reading. There are too many of y'all who are not giving yourself the things you need because you're letting your fear around past experiences hold you back. And when we do that, we are out of balance. We're out of balance. And that lack of balance can only bring us deficit, difficulty. If you want good experiences, you need to get into balance. And the balance that a lot of us need right now is that we need more celebration. We need more joy. We need to go outside. We need to stop replaying, ruminating over difficult experiences. Because our present moment, not only is our present moment not a reflection of that, if you keep ruminating, you are what you obsess over. If you keep ruminating over the shit that happened to you, it's going to return to you in a different form, in a different skin, and we don't need or want that, okay? So to summarize that, watch your thoughts this week. Watch your thoughts and go outside. You want to go out for that drink, go out for that drink. You want to see that movie, go see that movie. You want to go to that concert, go to that concert, right? You want to take that extra day at the river, take that extra day at the river and stick your feet in the water, whatever it is that you need to do to bring a little bit more joy in your life, because the joy is just as much of a necessity as the hard work. I'm going to go back to this King of Pentacles. Every wealthy person, when you look at the million and billionaires, they understand that the care I take for myself and the pleasure I give myself is just as important in balancing everything in terms of my wealth as the hard work I put into the situation, right? This is why Mark Zuckerberg and Bezos and all those people literally will disappear for 3 and 4 weeks at a time in some fucking retreat or on some mountain or on some island. You may not be at an island disappear for 3 or 4 weeks level, but you can fucking go and take yourself out to a nice meal. You can go to the museum for a few hours. You got $20 to go wander through the museum and look at history and revel in beauty. Whatever it is, do it. Do that shit, okay? Let's go into love and then we'll wrap up with money, okay? Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits walk with me. Elevated ancestors, for wisdom. Do we as a collective need about love as we go into the week of October 12th through the 19th? Who do we need to be and what do we need to see about ourselves or have it in our environment that will allow us to not only have the experiences of love that we want, but to be experienced by those we want to love and who love us in ways that are healing and helpful as opposed to harmful? There are any blind spots we have as it relates to our heart and how we treat the people in our lives that we love, whether romantic, platonic, familial, or community. Please highlight that now. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. The worst kind of manifesting your fears is the worst kind of manifestation. But we have to check ourselves because a lot of times we don't understand that hyperfixation and that hyper worry is what's making us manifest those things. You're sitting around thinking that your endeavors aren't going to be fruitful, and you're fearful that they're not going to work out. All that time you spent fearful that the thing you need to build or create isn't going to work out. You could have been took your ass to the store and got the tools and the things you need to make the actual thing that you're afraid of, right? It ends up being wasteful. So you're right. It's the worst kind of manifestation because it only brings deficit and stagnation to us. Love this. Love this. Okay. Don't love that last card, so I am going to pull a clarifier. Ancestors, angels, and master spirits of all with me, elevated ancestors. What do we need to know about the Five of Pentacles? Give us wisdom about the Five of Pentacles. What is the Five of Pentacles? What is the Five of Pentacles trying to teach us about love and matters of the heart? This is not a week to go around complaining to your girlfriends or to your friend or to your guy friends, to your social circle about what it is you want for love. It's really not. This is a week to be prayerful, right? And this is whether you're single or whether you're in relationship. Take it to your spirits. Take it to your spirits because they're the ones that are going to give you the best guidance. And in addition to that, you have people around you, and I'm going to get to the cards in a second. You have people around you that are not being transparent about whatever love deficits they have or whatever negative experiences around this particular area of life they deal with. And it's going to spill over into you. You really don't need that right now, right? Yes, you can be in celebration with people, but when it comes to your fears or your concerns, be very, very careful that you're not investing and sowing seeds around your fears, okay? And when I say sowing seeds around your fears, I'll say it. You're telling the wrong people what your fears are, and they're taking that and they're sowing seeds of discord by the way that they talk about it when you're not in the room. So just be mindful, right? Star card. A lot of us we may not be where we want to be with romance, whether that's you having some sort of difficulty with your partner or having unfavorable romantic experiences, those of us who are dating. But that's not permanent. It's not permanent. In fact, it's about to change very swiftly. And I'm going to get to why I know that in a moment. But it's about to change very, very quickly. Okay? And when the star card comes up, it's telling us, work on your faith. Work on who you are in the moment of waiting. Because the clouds are going to depart and it is going to get better. And so you really got to work on your faith. Faith is about who you get to be when you don't have the thing that you want at that moment, right? We just talked about the worst kind of manifestation. Be very, very careful. Stay prayed up. Talk to your spiritual team in your spiritual court. They're the ones that are going to give you the wisdom that you need right now. So this is about the spiritual aspects and the spiritual alignment necessary for you to have the kind of love you want in your life. Again, this is a message if you are in partnership or if you are single. Right? Because some of you guys may be feeling like bored in your relationships. Your partner may be going through it, even though they still love you, so you feel disconnected from them. Again, these are things that you need to learn how to have faith in. We don't do this enough, right? We live in an age where people get up and they just abandon partnerships if their partners are going through it. And that's fucking insane. So again, learning how to have faith, right? even if in the moment you're not experiencing what you want. Talking to your spiritual team is what's going to get you through it. It's not a time to vent to community and girlfriends, and I'll talk about that in the second row, okay? Between the star and this Wheel of Fortune, things are really about to turn in folks' favor, okay? Things are about to pick up. Sex life is about to get better, right? Your partner's they're about to see some changes in terms of what they're going through. So they're going to be a little bit more tender. If you are dating, you're going to start to see more connections in the dates you're going on. You're going to start to come around people who are much more like-minded. But there is blessing that's about to turn. The tide is about to shift. That's why, again, the star card is really important. Who are you in this moment? Right? So that you don't accidentally fuck up the good favor and the blessings that are about to come. Star card over the moon. Whatever's going on that has you agitated internally, this is why I'm saying you need to pray. This is about connecting further and more deeply with your spiritual team as opposed to running to man and running to the flesh. We don't talk enough about gossip and going to other people as running to the flesh, but it is, right? The moon card, what is it in you? Because whatever's happening in your romantic life right now, it's agitating a shadow. And that's why, and a lot of times when our shadows are agitated, we want to run to other people and talk about it. No, run to your spirits. Go to your spirits, right? So rather than losing hope and faith, look into your shadows. Look at what needs to be conquered within you so that you can have different experiences, okay? Ace of Pentacles, again, High Priestess, Wheel of Fortune, Star card, Ace of Pentacles. I know that things are about to turn up. Some of you guys are about to get a lot of gift and blessing in your romantic life. For those of us who are single, I keep saying that even though I got a nigga. I'm so used to saying I'm single. For those who are single, and he gonna be so mad. For those who are single, new partnership and new attractions are coming. For those who are in relationship and there's some sort of deficit, breakthrough around that deficit is about to show up, okay? This is another reason why they're saying have faith, work through it, pay attention to your shadow. Are you guys noticing a theme here? Hold on, my head wrap is coming apart. Are you guys noticing a theme here? All three of the reading the spirits are saying get ready. Get ready because the blessing is coming. Blessings are coming. And the last thing you want to do is let your shadows and your deficits make you fuck around and do something that brings you out of preparation for when the windfall, when the blessings come in. All right? And for some of us, the thing that can fuck us up in terms of alignment with the blessing and the windfall coming in is that we keep wanting to hang out with and vent to and trauma dump with people who don't have their shit together. People who don't have the kind of social life, sex life, romantic life, financial life that we even fucking want for ourselves. Five of Pentacles is a misery loves company energy, right? Look at all these people. They're poor as fuck. They're counting their pennies, but they're like, fuck it. Well, at least I got friends. But yeah, look at the friends you have. They're also broke along with you. They're also broken along with you. Be very careful. Go to your spirits first this week. Because I promise you, if you take whatever fears or difficulty you are to the people that are used to hearing you gossip, that are used to venting with you, not only are they going to continue to pour more poverty consciousness into you, they are going to run tell that shit to other people who are like, you think she got it together, huh? Well, let me tell you, she really don't. He think his girl the shit, don't he? She really not. She getting on his fucking nerves. You are farther along than you understand you are. Six of Wands. You've hit milestones and people admire you, right? But what's the inverse of admiration? Envy. So there may be people that in your face are speaking a lot of admiration to you, but the second they get behind your back, got a whole bunch of fucked up shit to say. And do you think that frequency of people saying fucked up things about you in rooms that you're not in, do you think that that's not going to hit you energetically? It is. It is. Stop trauma dumping with people around what you don't have or what's not going on right now in this moment. It's not going to serve you. It is only going to bring further imbalance in your life and bring you a karma or an energy that comes back that does not help you. That's not the answer either, Nicole. I love you down. But that's not the answer either. That's not the answer either. Finding better people to socialize with is the answer. Not socializing is not the answer. Okay? So when it comes to love this week, it doesn't matter what the nature of what deficit you feel right now. It's about to change. You are about to get blessing in that area. And just because you maybe feel overwhelmed by the delay, that doesn't mean that it's not coming. And when we feel delay, when we feel stuck, the answer is to go to our spirits. When we feel triggered, the answer is to evaluate our shadows so that we can understand why we feel triggered. Rather than running to other people and over talking to them about your fear that you're not going to find the right partner, your fear that your partner is not going to pull themselves out of whatever funk they're in, the fear that your sex life on it, whatever the fuck it is, rather than going to other people who will only end up gossiping about you or tapping on that fear on purpose. Because again, if it's one thing people love, it's to bring a 6 of wands down the size. Oh, you think you got it together. You think you cute. Oh, you letting me know you insecure? They will run tell that so fast. That's not the answer. And if you are somebody, when your shadows are triggered, you feel like the thing to do is run to other people, you got to evaluate why that is. Because you're setting yourself up for your own lack of safety. Okay? Whatever's going on with you right now as it relates to love, it is about to change. Do your personal work in the meantime. Look at your shadows. Talk to your spirits. Pull on wisdom. Ask for wisdom from your spirits. But you're not going to get it from man. You're not going to get it from your social group, because there are deficits lying beneath them that they can't acknowledge outright right now. And they will only use that to bring further deficit into your life. I've told you guys a million times about the friend I had in 19 years. Used to talk shit about me to anybody that would listen to her. And then even when she ran out of friends, because she ran every one of her friends away, started talking shit about me and my love life to our own fucking family. I was so hurt when she and I fell out. But literally, she and I fell out. The next day I got a job offer. The person I was dating started acting right, and we became serious. Like, there were so many deficits that she was speaking over my life through gossip, and I wasn't aware of. And the second I eliminated her, things shifted. We overshare sometimes to the wrong people, and we don't know we're doing it. And some of you guys probably even know who the gossipy friends in your life are that I'm talking about, and you minimize it. Oh, that's just her. That's just Keisha. That's just Tiffany. That's just Bianca. No, it's not. It's just them. If you know that's how they are, move accordingly. Correction, selectively socialize. Perfect. Selective socialization. Everybody don't need to know your business, okay? So that's the love reading for the week. We're going to wrap up with money, and then I'll start taking questions from the audience, okay? Ancestors, angels, and masters, spirits, walk with me, elevated ancestors, for wisdom. Do we as a collective need at this time when it comes to money, prosperity, abundance, career, and progress this week, the week of October 12th through the 19th? Who do we need to be? What do we need to see about ourselves, our habits, and our relationship to money? What needs to be revealed? What needs to be worked on? What needs to be stabilized? If there's any deficits, please give us wisdom so that we know how to prepare and protect. And blessings are coming. Also give us wisdom so that we can make sure that not only do we know how to keep the blessings, but that we can multiply them in your precious names. Any wisdom you shared is deeply appreciated. I lost all the closest people to me once I started elevating. Got to keep praying for a healthy circle in alignment with me. Amen. Amen. Sometimes when you learn that the people around you are causing certain deficits, and then you take the risks and you do the brave thing of moving forward, it opens up a lot for you. Y'all niggas know I moved across the country to get away from people because I knew my environment wasn't suiting me. And it changed my life for the better. It really did. And the crazy thing is, some of the people that I left in California, the ones that were good for me, I'm still in contact with them. And then the ones that were not good for me, that had deficits that didn't function, it got highlighted and exacerbated with the distance, right? So God's going to bring you people that are worthy of you. They really, really will. By the Six of Cups. What do we need to know about the Six of Cups? Give us wisdom about the Six of Cups. What is the Six of Cups trying to tell us about money, finances, prosperity, and our relationship to it? Yes. So this is something that I teach a lot, and I haven't other than Rich Spirit, I haven't offered any specialty financial trauma recovery stuff in probably years. So that's something that I need to work on getting back to. But a lot of you guys know that my start as a priestess was taking a lot of my coaching around financial trauma recovery and incorporating it into spiritual teachings and practices. This is something that I talk a lot with my coaching clients. Like, sometimes when we can't, there are some people, and you guys may have experienced this, where it's like you have the education, you have the experience, you have the vision, you have all these things, but for whatever reason, there's a ceiling you can't get over, right? I've seen this with clients where it's like they get all these promotions and stuff, but whatever happens, they can never make it past that six-figure mark, or they can never make it past the $150,000 mark, right? Even though other people that are in their environment who do the exact same thing get there. And a lot of times this happens because, and I'm going to get to the cards in a minute. This is not just me rambling. It's going to make sense. A lot of that is because sometimes people have some sort of emotional tie to a belief that doesn't serve them, whether it's, wealthy people are evil, or, I love my dad and my dad only made $90,000 a year, so I can't make more than $90,000 a year because that would be disrespectful to him. It's some sort of false belief tied to their past or a past version of themselves that doesn't serve them, right? Those of us who are going to be in attunement to our personal development this week, and who are going to be in personal and reflection over our habits, we're going to have breakthrough where we see what that is in our life, right? Because we're blessed for the most part to be around and in community with like-minded people who are going to put us on, people who are going to talk positively about us in rooms that we're not in. That is Three of Pentacles energy. I'm in community with like-minded people, and we may not do the same things, but I want to see them win, and they want to see me win, because they understand that when we all win, we win together. It's win-win energy, not win-lose, right? And the majority of us, my Nightmare Before Christmas, my Jack Skellington dress. Yeah, I love my Jack. I wear this whenever I need to, that's why I was so jovial when I got on today, because this is one of my favorite dresses. This and my Maleficent dress. Oh, sorry, I got distracted. Okay. Uh, um, we have community around us that wants to see us win. So based on the environments we have, set up completely for success. And we need to be really, really grateful for that, because the more gratitude we express, the more our cups are going to be filled. And some of us have already seen this. We've already had people in this environment bring us opportunity that we didn't ask for, right? So this is about pausing. Nine of Cups is a card of pausing to see how full the cups are and be grateful for it, right? Um, but there is a blockage because we have the Six of Cups here, right? When I say blockage, it may not be like you're hitting a wall, but there is a limit coming up, right? With the gratitude. Like some of you guys are like, yeah, I'm grateful, but I know I can be doing more, right? And the reason why you have that intuitive nudge is because there's something going on in your software that hasn't been, I know I keep saying this, the second time I've said it, there's something going on in your emotional software that hasn't been updated. You have nostalgia, or you're being tied to an old, outdated understanding of success that doesn't fully belong to you. You've outgrown it, but you still crave it, and you don't know how to let it go. And it's something that came from your family or your environment of people that you really, really love, right? And that's when it's the hardest, because it's not like these are people that meant you wrong or that were trying to hurt you, that you love them and they love you. But even with that, there's some inauthenticity there, because whether they had good intentions for you or not, that belief is not in alignment with who you are now, and it's actually keeping you stuck, right? I told you guys a story about how when I was applying for colleges as a child, I always wanted to live on the East Coast or in the South. I was born and raised in California. My dream school was Georgetown University. If not Georgetown, then it was Howard. I got into both. When I tell you my mom and two of my aunties wept and guilted me into staying in California, because in their mind, the East Coast was not safe and I wasn't going to be okay. And then it limited a lot of my options. I know that my life would have been very, very different had I, instead of staying where it was comfortable, going and exploring at a much earlier age, right? And they didn't do that because they didn't love me. They did it because they loved me, right? So some of us have to really evaluate what are the old beliefs that we feel deeply tied to that are keeping us in a space. Don't feel bad for me. I still had a good ass life. UC Berkeley wasn't no hoe. I didn't go to a bad school, right? And I didn't have like terrible jobs. It's just that it would have been different, right? So I hate that for myself too, but it's not like I had some terrible ass life, right? I want to make that really clear, because that sounded worse than what it needed to, right? But now's the time to really look at, okay, there's something that I'm tying to a definition of success that's out of alignment with me, and that's what's keeping me from being able to fully get to my financial independence, right? I'm working with old programming. I'm working with an old belief. And not only is it an old belief, it's a belief that doesn't even belong to me, right? I think that is the work. I know it is the work that some of us need to do this week, and that several of us are going to have breakthrough around this week in terms of being able to identify. And I know that because we have the hangman, right? Hangman is paradigm shift, right? Something's going to happen that really forces you to sit still. And in that stillness, you're going to be able to evaluate the fullness of your environment, the fullness of your choices, the fullness of your actions. And it's going to allow you to see things with soft eyes that you haven't seen clearly before. And it's going to help you realize, like, oh, I've been feeling that if I don't have this thing, or if I don't get to wealth this way, or if I don't have this kind of respectable job, that I'm not doing things right. But that's not even an authentic belief to me. That's not even something that belongs to me. right? Because that is what the hangman is. It's the card of paradigm shift that allows you to see an action or something that you're doing that's really martyring you. That's why hangman Pisces, the card of the martyr, right? Pisces can be so involved in trying to do the right thing that they end up doing the self-sacrificial thing quite a bit. And the hangman comes to force you into suspension so you can see, where are you martyring yourself? Where are you actually harming yourself in a way that actually doesn't serve you, right? With that wisdom, Eight of Pentacles, it puts a battery in some of y'all's back, right? There are a lot of people that are watching this live or in the replay where y'all are the type of people where when you get wisdom and information, you run full force with it. So once this is revealed to you, this deficit that you have, this belief that you have that was brought to you through your upbringing, through a younger version of yourself that no longer serves you, and you're able to let it go, it'll make it easier for you to move out of that imposter syndrome and start doing the hard work of getting closer to what you want, refining that skill set, building in an authentic way, as opposed to building towards something that you don't fully even want for yourself, right? And this allows us to see progress. It allows us to see forward movement. To summarize all of this, the majority of us have everything we need, not just in terms of our own skill set, but the environment and the community is ripe for us to have forward progression, right? Three of Pentacles, moving with other people, building collectively with other people. We're blessed to be in an environment where that should be easy. And if we can move in gratitude as well as self-reflection, to figure out, like, what is this nostalgic tie? What is this false belief that's old that never really belonged to us, right? And we can let that go. It'll really help us move forward, and we'll start to see some progress that really propels us into further financial security and abundance. We'll be able to break that ceiling, right, that we haven't been able to hit so far or shatter so far. So I love that. I look forward to that for all of us. I didn't think I'm involved in that, but if I am, I'm looking forward to the wisdom. There's a new Loa that's been showing up for me lately. I'm not going to say who it is or how they've been showing up. My girls will learn about that later this week. And I think that that's part of, because the way that, I was about to say too much. I just think that's a part of why they've been showing up. So it'll be really, really dope to see how they bring clarity to that particular message for me. All right, we're now at the end of, hey, Lovana, good to see you. Really good to see you, Lovana. We are now at the end of the general reading. I'm happy to start taking questions from the audience. If you have a question for me, go ahead and put that in the comments section, and then I'll start to go in order of where the questions are received. Again, love offerings are not required, but let's be real, they're helpful. Y'all know how the economy is. As well, and also energy exchange matters, right? If you're somebody who's constantly taking, asking, and then you never give, spirit doesn't like that, right? So if you can give a love offering, it's deeply appreciated. If you don't have it to give, it's totally understood. I can't wait until I can I would love to have you in Charm School, Nicole. I would absolutely love to have you in Charm School. I know that a couple of years ago when we first crossed paths, you used to, pay for classes a la carte, and you were a joy to have in classes. It would be an absolute honor to have you in my mentorship. So I can't wait I know you're doing a lot of work because you're a busy woman and you're out here traveling and working hard with your man. So I don't begrudge that of you at all. But when you are stable and, you feel like you do have the time to make the commitment, I would love to have you join us. That would be so amazing. Again, go ahead and put your questions in the comments. If you have a question for me, go ahead and put it. We'll start with JL. What does Spirit advise that I do to celebrate Alexander's birthday? There are two things related to this that I am worried about, and I would like some clarity. That's such a cute question. I love questions like this. Let's see. Oh, I didn't give updates. And I'll hop into I almost forgot to give my updates. Not tomorrow. Tuesday, we have our next class, tarot class, for the Patreon. If you are not on my Patreon, consider joining. From the friendship circle up, so the $15 tier and up, will get you access to all of the classes that are taught to Patreon. I typically teach about 2, sometimes 3 Patreon classes a month. There's also a tier that gets you access to astrological-based readings. There are exclusive monthly readings that I do on the Patreon as well. It's just a dope space, a lot of exclusive information, as well as exclusive classes. So consider joining my Patreon. The link is below in the comments section. The 22nd, we have Fire and Desire, which is the Love and Sex Magic Workshop, okay? I'm going to teach you how to do love magic as well as sex magic. Those are 2 very different things. I'm also going to teach you a lot about the trappings of what people think is love magic, but is actually limerence and lust magic, and how to avoid those. A lot of times when you hear people say, I did a love spell and it backfired, it's because that person doesn't understand what limerence is, and they don't know the difference between that and other things. So I'm going to teach you how to avoid a lot of common pitfalls associated with love and sex magic. I'm going to teach you how to engage with love and sex magic ethically. And I'm also going to teach you a really strong, foolproof potion that you can use to enliven your sex life, okay? That is on the 22nd. $75 will get you access to the workshop, as well as the replay and the supply list. So go ahead and join. You have until the 21st to enroll, but the sooner the better, because again, there is a supply list and you want to make sure that you have time to get your supplies, okay? Even if you don't want to do the Love and Sex Magic Workshop, Erotic Power Sessions, which is a specialty reading that I do to help people tap into their erotic power, help them do any kind of womb or sexual trauma healing, and really reconnect to their sensuality. That is on sale for the month of October. Shadow work consultations are also still on sale. There are a ton of different ways to work with me, okay? The Rich Spirit Prosperity Ritual, the final round of it for 2025, will be taking place November 10th through the 13th. Deadline to sign up is November 8th. So go ahead and click the link below if you want to learn more about Rich Spirit and how that can help you attract abundance into your life, as well as break any kind of financial blockages that you may have, okay? Grace and Gratitude, our 21-day prayer program that is run by Hunsi Aja and I, starts November 1st. $15 for 21 days of prayer support. You get daily prayers crafted by the both of us, daily journal prompts that are going to help you align further with your ancestral court, as well as weekly sound healing baths for $15. Best $15 you will ever spend. If you want to learn more about that program, click the link below in the description, okay? JL wants to know, what does Spirit advise in terms of celebrating Alexander's birthday? Ancestors, angels, and master spirits walk with me. What does Spirit advise JL do to celebrate Alexander's birthday? What wisdom does she need? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. So if everyone's having a ball from your love magic but you, then there's a deficit there, La Balin. There's something that's not being addressed, and I would strongly encourage you to take the workshop. I went through something very similar, and then I had to learn the hard way that I was being taught love magic incorrectly. And then I had to learn some tips and some tricks from some other healers, as well as tapping to my own ancestral court, as well as the Loa that I work with. and that has strengthened my magic. And now, if anybody's gonna benefit from my sex magic or my love magic, nigga, it's gonna be me. So, if that is something that you are struggling with, consider enrolling in the workshop. I think that it'll help you tremendously in terms of understanding and conceptualizing your work. Okay? After JL, I'll do Aisha, and then after Aisha, I'll do Eris. And if there is anyone else, go ahead and put your comments below, so that, or put your comments in the comments section rather, so that I can get to your question. I'm gonna switch decks because that Seven of Cups keeps coming up, and I don't think that's right. So let me use Game of Thrones. Ancestors, what does JL need to do? What would be the best way to celebrate Alexander's birthday? What was the exact same thing I told you was wrong with yours? What was it? I don't remember. Okay. What I'm seeing here is that, okay, this makes sense because the Queen of Swords was in the last one too. Whatever the more, and this may sound weird, but whatever the more intellectual thing is, right? So if there's something where you guys are going to like an art museum or a play, something of that nature, something that's really going to give them an opportunity to think and feel intellectually stimulated, they won't think it's boring. I think there's a part of you that doesn't want to do that because you feel like it's going to be boring. It's not. That will actually make them feel seen, and it'll make them really, really happy. Justice, something that brings balance, something that gives an opportunity for connection. Justice is ruled by Libra, which is the scales, but Libra is also the energy of love and partnership, right? So something that gives you guys an opportunity to connect and to, for lack of better words, spar intellectually, right? Something that gives you an opportunity to really talk and discuss through your thoughts and perspectives. Because King of Swords, people think that the King of Swords is unloving. He is not. He just really loves intellectual stimulation. That's why the Queen of Swords is his partner. She's one of the only women that can really spar with him intellectually or challenge him, right? So whatever this thing is that really taps on their cerebral nature and makes them think, that's why I'm thinking like it's some sort of like, I don't know why museum keeps coming up. Maybe it's an exhibit of some sort, or maybe like a botanical garden, but something that really pulls on their senses and brings out a lot of conversation is really going to help them tremendously. And again, we have the Sun card. It'll make them feel seen. It'll make them feel valued. They'll feel really spoiled in a particular way, right? That Leo energy where they get to feel like they're the center of attention. That's what I'm seeing. I don't know if that answered your question or if it took you in another direction, but that's what's coming up in the cards. And again, the cards that were in the others deck, even though I changed it, were somewhat similar. So that's how I know that the message is correct. Let me know if that resonates with you or not. That the way I learned how to conjure love spells, I personally didn't have the privilege of benefiting from that type of work. I specifically had to be friends with the men first per my ancestors. Okay, yeah. And here's the thing. I don't even know who taught you how to do love magic. In the context that it came up, it was probably intuitive or it made more sense to me in that particular conversation. I just know that most people are taught to do love magic incorrectly, unfortunately. Most people what they are taught as love magic is actually limerence magic. And a lot of times, even when you go to, I'm about to tell. A lot of times, even when you go to healers to do love magic for you, if you go to somebody who doesn't have good politics, they're going to do limerence magic for you on purpose, because people who don't have good politics will do work that is designed to make you come back to them with a new problem. Anybody who's paid me for working knows I don't want you coming back to me. I don't want you coming back to me. I want to get a one and done. I want you to be at peace. I want to be at peace. I don't want to hear about it again. So yeah. But yeah, I think the way that most people are taught to do love conjure is not correct. So take the workshop. I really think it'll benefit you, La Balin. Consider taking the workshop. One of the ideas that I had was a bonding intellectual experience, and I floated it gently. He thinks it's great. I just need to. Okay, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. What are you saying oh wow about, Bertal? What was the oh wow? Are there any highly important blessings coming that I am at risk of fumbling that I'm not seeing? Okay. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits walk with me. Is La Balin potentially going to fumble a blessing? If so, what is the blessing that she might fumble? How can she make sure that she has awareness so that she doesn't fumble it? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Okay. Page of Swords, upright. Ten of Cups in reverse. Ace of Cups in reverse. You have to be careful who you talk to. Um, be careful who you talk to, and be careful with people who try to provoke you into gossip, right? So this is something that I learned recently about the Page of Swords, because I still study the cards tremendously, and I'm always looking for new points of wisdom that I can add to my grimoire. A good priest or priestess is always learning. A good priest or priestess is a constant student. Remember that, okay? Um, but the Page of Swords is somebody who either gossips a lot themselves, or who can be, because they're the teacher's pet, they're the people pleaser. So they can be dragged into gossip way too easily. Again, the pages are learning lessons. They're learning about the power of their tongue. They're learning how to heal or harm, and the difference between the two with their tongue, right? Sometimes when the Page of Swords comes up, Spirit is literally telling you, stop talking so much, and don't gossip. Don't gossip. Don't gossip. Don't fucking gossip, okay? Because you have blessings coming in the area of love and also abundance. We forget that the heart chakra is connected to money. And the Ace of Cups, when the Ace of Cups shows up in our life, we're about to have an overflow of love as well as an overflow of opportunity. Those opportunities can lead to an increase in finances. Your Ace of Cups is in reverse. Your Ten of Cups is also in reverse. So with the Ten of Cups being in reverse, somebody who you feel like is family or a part of your chosen family, social family, is not somebody that keeps shit to themselves, right? And so you can block your blessing by engaging in gossip or just telling your business too much to the wrong person. You're going into a season where it's really important for you to hold your tongue and to really trust your discernment in terms of who you tell things to, right? And here's the thing, Ten of Cups, when Ten of Cups is upright, it's chosen family. It's community that's family-like. It's the people that you build traditions and memories with, right? When the Ten of Cups is in reverse, it's a warning that you are trying to have this with a certain group of people and they low-key don't know how to do. It's like toxic family, right? So think about like church family that talk shit about people's talk shit about people when you leave the room, right? The church family that's, or sister at the church that may be plotting on your husband, kind of. I hope I'm making sense. Long and the short of it is, your blessings are coming. You just really can't share your plans with everybody. And you also have to make sure that you're not engaging in a whole bunch of gossip. I hope that makes sense. Let me know if that resonates for you or not. Let me know if that was helpful. I see Aisha and then Aries. And if there's no one else after those two, I will go ahead and wrap up for the evening. Again, you can send your love offerings to my Cash App or my PayPal. Both are scrolling below. Aisha said, what are tangible ways this week to support myself emotionally? I can begin to increase my faith immediately. Okay, I got you. I'm going to return back to millennial because that feels right. Ancestors, angels, ascended master spirits to walk with me, and elevated ancestors. What wisdom does Aisha need at this time about being able to manage their emotions and tap into faith? What will help them on their faith journey at this time? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. It resonates. Thank you. Okay, I'm glad that was helpful. Aisha, are you going through a depression? Let me know if you're going through a depressive bout. Five of Cups. What do we need to know about the Five of Cups? You have to teach yourself how to not ruminate on the past. I think a lot of what's making it hard for you to have faith is that you're waiting for the other shoe to drop, or you are thinking a lot about things from your past. And learning to have peace with your past so that you can be focused on your future is something that you really, really got to work through. I think it's also really important that you consider seeing some sort of counselor. You would benefit from a male therapist, and I'll explain why in a moment. But it is clear that you need support and help. You are the type of person that when you are given clear directives and strategy, you move with them. But right now, you don't have anybody around to do that. And I think there's a part of you that is trying to lean on your partner for that, and they have their limitations. And it's not because they actually love you deeply. They fuck with you the long way. Your partner loves you down. But there's just a lack of capacity and capability that they have. So consider if you're not at the place where you are ready to see a therapist, consider getting a male life coach, right? Five of Cups, the card of depression, but also difficulty with moving forward and from your past. And Five of Cups literally represents somebody who is so fixated on the empty cups of the past that it's hard for them to take inventory and even acknowledge all the full cups that they have in this moment and how that sets them up for full cups in the future. Over that, we have the Page of Pentacles, which is literally the Apprentice. So you literally need like concrete support and strategy around how to not ruminate. Like you need somebody that can teach you, this is what you do. This is the mantra you go into. These are the affirmations. This is how you pull yourself out. You need somebody who's capable of doing that, because trying to do that on your own is really fucking with your sense of peace, and it's hard for you to rest peacefully and easy. You haven't been able to fully recuperate from your pain, right? King of Swords, wise counselor. You need a male therapist or life coach. You need somebody who has training, wisdom, and tools to provide you. So you don't need a new spiritual healer. You literally need a male therapist or a male life coach. And I'm saying, if this were the Queen of Cups, I would say it would be okay to have a female one. But what I get is that a male therapist is going to be much more deliberate about giving you strategies, right? The King of Swords represents that strategic element of the Emperor, and this is somebody that's really he's going to be instrumental in helping you. See, I love spirit. Because how the fuck would I have known that? How would I have known that? Right? And this is necessary because, again, your husband loves you and there's a lot of reciprocity in the relationship, but he doesn't have the tools to be able to pour these things into you. And this also will take a little bit of, and I don't mean this word with judgment, but it'll take pressure off of your husband because he doesn't have those tools, right? So these tools that you're getting from your therapist, you can bring your husband up to speed to them, and they can become something that's reciprocal in the relationship. But having the male therapist is really going to bring you a sense of support that gets matched with the support that you have of your husband. So that's what I'm seeing. Based on what you're saying, you're already doing the right things. You're already doing the right things. What I would encourage you to do is continue to lean in the wisdom that's coming from your therapist. Continue to pray to your ancestors. If you can develop a set of mantras or affirmations based on the wisdom that's coming from your therapist to help you in the interim, I think that would be the best way to approach this, okay? All right. If there is no, I hope that this was helpful for you. I hope that it confirmed or gave you some wisdom around how to navigate the situation. If there's no one else after teaching, people will. I don't know about people. So you got to remember that not everybody even teaches magic, right? The folks that teach spiritual, that teach conjure, is really not that huge of a pool. There are a lot of people that do love spells for people, and they do the love spells wrong to make them come back. I've seen people do the same thing with prosperity work. They'll do prosperity work wrong on purpose, or they'll set it up so that people get blessings quickly and then they run out so that the person has to come back to them. There's a lot of unethical shit that happens in these communities. I could teach a whole class about that. Aries, what other routes can I take to better my finances? All right, if there's no one else after Aries, I will go ahead and wrap up for the night. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits, walk with me, validated ancestors. What does Aries need to know about improving their finances? What will allow them to see breakthrough in terms of where their money is at this time? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. You're very welcome, Aisha. You also have to work on your thoughts. What you want, the answer you want is not the answer that you're going to get, unfortunately, um, because your work and what you're doing already is enough. It's not about getting another stream of income, right? The Nine of Pentacles is here to say that you have enough on your plate already when it comes to work. For you, this is a spiritual alignment issue. So you really got to work on your spiritual hygiene. There's something going on in terms of some sort of like something's missing from regimen. You may not be praying enough. You you may not be praying enough. You may not there's just something off in your regimen, right? You may not be praying enough. You may not be in meditation. There's wisdom that you're probably ignoring around like the financial connection. But Hierophant is coming up to say that there's something off in terms of the spirit and action alignment that really needs to be addressed, and that's having impact over your finances. Money is making you sad right now, Five of Cups, right? I think that you either are hyper fixating on something you lost or you're trying to make old ways work, and that's not helping you or moving you forward. And that could be part of your problem. But based on this reading, I don't think that it's about you bringing on another route to better your finances. I think that there's a lot happening in terms of mentality as well as spiritual practices that really need to be addressed and worked through. If you're in a place where you can do it, Aries, consider booking a Golden Shadows reading with me. That way we can figure out what the specific blockages are, and help you figure out a way to eliminate or alleviate them. Either that or join Rich Spirit. The lowest tier for Rich Spirit is $40. It's $40 to join. It's $75 to get the 2 classes associated with it. And it's $150 to join, have the classes, and then also get a follow-up reading from me after. But yeah, I don't think it's about a new stream or a new route. There's some spiritual blockages as well as some hyperfixations and ways of thinking that need to be really worked through and addressed. Okay? That class would help so many innocent people, the things I've witnessed. I'm slowly getting to a point where I'm brave enough to teach that class. I think that with the ways in which I am being surveilled, it's been hard for me to teach the things I need to, but I'm deeply considering it because there are things that people need to know how to watch out and look out for. There are questions that people need to ask, and if you don't know how to ask them, you're not gonna do it, right? And I had to witness some fucked up things, and I had to learn the hard way. I'll just leave it there. But I will definitely consider it La Balin. I will definitely consider that. All right, everyone, I want you to have a beautiful, amazing week. Take care of yourselves. Be good, do good, be generous, be kind. I will be back on Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. Either an astro hour or a happy hour. I don't know. I'll know for certain by Wednesday. But I will definitely be back here Thursday for sure at 8 p.m. EST. I really hope to see you all there. Until then, I want you all to take care, okay? Good night.